someone, as I said, that has teamed together a lot in the Texas Tornadoes. They're like one cohesive unit. And not only that, you know, here all the way in Cornelia, Georgia, traveling all the way from Texas to be a part of this matchup, my hat's off to them. I at least have to give them credit for that. And they certainly have a lot of road that they can be burning up to discuss strategy amongst both team members. And I don't even know, for one, if CB Gibson and Tommy Daniels even traveled together to have that luxury to be able to talk back and forth strategy.
It bears repeating that, as you said, the Texas Tornadoes, they come to us from the famed Texas Wrestling Academy out there in Texas, trained by Rudy Boy Gonzalez, who, you know, as a lot of fans may or may not know, has trained a lot of stars here, including a bunch of Anarchy stars that have come through here. Guys like Todd Sexton, you know, the Texas Tornadoes here. We've seen guys like the Texas Streets who have come here to us from the Texas Wrestling Academy. So, I mean, you know, the history's there. Of course, maybe one of the most famous people to come out of the Texas Wrestling Academy would be Shawn Michaels, who was also trained partially by Rudy Boy Gonzalez. So, I mean, the Texas Wrestling Academy has been known as the place to be trained. If you don't come to NWA Anarchy to be trained here in the Anarchy Dojo, then it's the Texas Wrestling Academy. Those two right there are the premier schools in professional wrestling. So, I mean, the know-how of these two men, the Texas Tornadoes.
Right there, did you see that snap suplex, John Johnson? Very impressive.
Exactly. The knowledge that they gain there is being shown throughout the ranks here as they rise to the ranks of NWA Anarchy. And these two men, I think, you know, with just a little bit more time, a little bit more seasoning, they're going to be a serious threat here in the tag team division, of course, next to my ambassador.
Oh, well, yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I tell you one thing, while you were talking, we saw very quick tags made by the Texas Tornadoes. They've been able to get in and out very fast. And as you can see on the apron, CB Gibson desperately wanting to make that tag to Tommy Daniels. But in the meantime, Jacob Kilgore in the ring with that reverse chin lock right there on Tommy Daniels. Tommy Daniels throwing in some elbows into the midsection. Could it have been the break that he needed to be able to get away and get the tag? Who knows? All we know right now, Texas Tornadoes inflicting that pain and that damage on Tommy Daniels. Going in there right there for a submission move. Great teamwork right there. I have to give it to them. We're able to apply that offensive move and allow to be able to make the tag as well, with also not allowing Tommy Daniels to make that tag to CB Gibson. Kind of like a 3-for-1 right there, just in that one submission move there.
The Texas Tornadoes, they may be, you know, primarily tag team partners, but one of the big announcements that we've heard here over the past several weeks is that one of the matches announced for Fright Night is going to be this big open invitational battle royal. The winner of that one will receive a shot at the North American title held by Sean Tempers later on that evening. It's an invitational. These four men can find themselves entered into that big battle royal and could find themselves going from tag team competition into one-on-one with the North American champion. And, you know, I mean, I know I'm getting way ahead of myself here, but what if one of these four men were to win the North American title? Would they be willing to forsake their partner to go along that path? Because now you're talking about a whole different thing here. That's going to be a very interesting situation at Fright Night. And with it being an invitational, we're not only talking about, you know, members of the NWA Anarchy roster. We're talking this is an open invitational to anybody in the National Wrestling Alliance. Open door policy. It's going to be a huge night at Fright Night.
Absolutely, and you touched on that. What would happen if one of these men did enter that battle royal and actually won? You know, we've got the Texas Tornadoes, again, a cohesive unit, and we know that CB Gibson and Tommy Daniels have had singles competition a lot throughout the NWA Anarchy, and they have now since become a team. So the question really lies, what would happen in that situation, especially when you've been singles before? Do you want to go for that gold one more time? And it certainly looks like the Texas Tornadoes kind of doing a number there on Tommy Daniels, the rights and lefts, like a pinball. Oh, wow. Great move right there. Able to make that tag finally to CB Gibson. CB in. And a little misdirection there, it seems. What? Oh, great maneuver from CB Gibson onto Galan Ramirez. To get wild, there's that high-flying maneuver that we've seen from CB Gibson over the weeks. Backs Galan Ramirez into the corner, sends him for the ride as well, and yet again, both of the Texas Tornadoes have found each other on the wrong side with a big splash, ducks the clothesline, and right there shows you why the Texas Tornadoes are so deadly as a team. Oh, face first into the mat.
We saw a lot of miscommunication there from the Texas Tornadoes, but now just when it counted most, they were able to get their ducks in a row. But except for Galan Ramirez not remembering that he's not the legal man. It's Jacob Kilgore, and he needs to get out there because Dee Byers is everywhere in his right now to disqualify this team.
And right there might be able to even up things just a little bit with Tommy Daniels taking out Jacob Kilgore. Oh, right there, C.B. Gibson goes for a big high-risk maneuver, and he did it!
Ladies and gentlemen, here are your winners, the team of C.B. Gibson and Tommy Daniels.
Well, rather than going for the disqualification, Dee Byers just lets it go. And C.B. Gibson and Tommy Daniels get the win here this week on NWA Anarchy.